Hey, parents, teachers, caretakers, caregivers, and grandparents. Thank you for coming back again and again and again. Thanks for being a blessing. Thanks for being a blessing. When I use the word saying thank you for being a blessing, you must be wondering, oh, you're the one who's teaching. I'm not the one who's teaching. You are listening to it. You will be sharing with someone. What we fill our life with will definitely overflow. It will overflow into some spaces that it will become a blessing. Now, one of the principles that I want to share, I said this in the last episode that reject that lie. And in this episode, I want to say something very powerful. Again, another, lie that we, many a times accepted. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how things are going to turn around. I don't see things. I know when I say this, many of the parents, many of the teachers would say, yeah, I'm not a very anxious kind of a person, and I'm a very confident kind of a person. Both the sides of it, you can't be too confident or you can't be in a place of too anxious. No, we need to be in a place of dependence. I said this last time. Now, as an angle that I want to just share, there's something that I do it all the time. It's a simple statement. When I go in prayer, when I pray for my children, when I pray for some of the teenagers that I counsel, when I go into some of those spaces where I have to do things, I say this simple statement. The statement is this: Lord, I can't, only you can. Lord, I can't, only you can. Now, when I say that, many a times some teenagers have asked me this question and say, yeah, I can't, only you can. It doesn't mean that I'm going to sit back and say, Lord, I can't, I give up, only you can. No. I am ready to run, not just walk, not just stroll. I am ready to run. I am ready to push. I am ready to move forward. But I can't keep pushing forward. I can't keep running. I can't keep moving forward. Only you can help me to keep moving forward. Only you can. It's every step of the way. I was just sharing with some young people, and I had taken them out for a program that I was speaking, and in the car we were just talking, and they were just asking me this question: how do I deal with some of that anxious places? And I think it applies for us as parents. I don't ask for the Lord to say, Lord, help me to do things tomorrow, next week, the whole month, the next year. These are my plans. Yes, we have plans, but my perspective always is this: Lord, help me to do my life well today. Today. From the time I wake up till the time I go to bed, how am I reacting and responding to my children? How am I reacting and responding to my spouse? How am I reacting and responding to the people around me? So how am I? Now, why do I have to be in this place? Because our children are watching it. Many of our children are getting into that place of anxiety. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. What's going to happen. And many of the parents who are very anxious are translating that anxiety into their own children. Yeah. And many of the children are anxious. And when I talk to them, I begin to find out that maybe somebody in the house is very anxious. Maybe the mother is very anxious. Maybe the father is very anxious. We need to come to a place and ask ourselves this question. The question is this: am I able to live my life well today? I love the principle, He gives our daily bread. When God had told the Israelites to, gather the manna, He just said very easily, a very beautiful principle. Don't gather for tomorrow, it will get spoiled. Gather the manna for today, what you need for today. And He's a God who will give us the grace for what we need today. In our parenting, in our teaching journey, in our mentoring journey, in our discipleship journey, let's not worry about how we are going to handle the situation later. No. What I need, He will give me that manna. He will give me the strength. He will give me the wisdom. He will give me the bread today, for today. And I walk on that place. Now, this is the most beautiful thing. Every day when we walk in that daily bread, that's where we get strength for a long run. That's where we get strength for the long run. Every day. But the way we do every day, how well we do every day, how intentional we are in our every day, and how careful we are in our every day is going to be very critical. It's going to be very critical. Many a times as parents, as teachers, I can confess, sometimes we let down our antennas, right? And we just, like with our own children, we respond and react in a certain way and just say, oh, forget it, you don't know how much is, stressful my life is, and how things are, burdening me and things like that. I think that's where we have to be a little careful. Last night was a difficult night where I had to talk with one of my son, and in our house almost there's something happening. And last night I had to talk with him, and I had to be a little straightforward. I had to be a little straightforward. And I said, I'm sorry, this is not right, and this is what it is. And he was like, yeah. And I said, you have to work hard. This is not going to work out. And I did say, I don't want to say this on camera of what the things were, but there were certain things that were not right. And I shared with him, and then I went into the room. After I went into the room, me and my wife, we were, spending time in prayer. After we finished praying, it was almost about 12:30. And I went back. He was sitting there and studying, and I went back and I just said, are you doing well? Okay, good that you're doing this. Good that you're doing that. You see what I'm saying? Many of the parents are afraid to be firm, and some of the parents are only firm all the time. I think that's where we need to have that balance. Balance of nurture and structure. We'll talk about that later. But that balance of nurture and structure is going to be very, very critical. When I went back and I put my hand around him and I said, this is really good, you will do well. I think this is how it is. You try to work hard. He might have not been expecting me to come out of the room at 12:30, midnight, and he must have thought, okay, he must have gone to sleep. Daddy must have gone to sleep. But I went back just to make sure, because I can't go to sleep after I had confronted him and been firm with him and said some things very straight. I can't go to sleep. I need to restore him. I need to nurture him. And I went back and I just said, hey, you're doing okay. And I saw his whole countenance changed. And this morning when he got up, when he was doing things, the way he does things are very different. That place, it's the daily bread, daily how we react, daily how we respond. Thank you so much for being here. Make this a blessing. Share with someone. If you can share these links with someone, and if you have any questions, please shoot your questions. We'd love to answer those questions. Thank you so much for coming back again and again. Mentor somebody, mentor the next generation. The key need of the hour is that we mentor the next generation. Thank you so much for being here.